In this video, I want to show you how I built the pine trees I used in the Boulder Diorama. The diorama itself you can find in a separate video if you're interested. The principle of creating the trees I got from Al from Boulder Creek Railroad, who is making awesome dioramas and awesome videos. So please check out this channel if you like ultra-realistic dioramas. First you need some pliers and wire. I was cutting the wire for about 40 centimeters and between 6 and 10 pieces for each tree, depending on how big the trees shall be. Try to make them somehow a bit more even. Then fold it in the middle and twist it, leaving one loop at the end about the size of a thumb. Twist all the wires to create the trunk. Twisting it tight gives the tree a bit more strength and makes sure that the wires are close together. At the height where you would like to have the first branch coming out of the trunk, you separate some of the wires sideways, which you can split again. This is repeated as higher you go with the trunk. Have a look to some pictures of trees, as each tree type has a different style of branches. When you end up with just 2 wires and you would like to have some more branches, you can create a small circle and twist the end again. If you later open the circles with your pliers, you have slightly more branches at the outside of the tree. At the end it can look somehow like this. The typical pine trees in Fontainebleau also have some branches at the lower part of the trunk, which are just remaining broken ends. To create this, I was adding some short wire, which I was pricking through the trunk and twisting it around for the fixation. The root works very similar to the branches, but it's just much smaller. Feel free to bend each branch afterwards to get the shape you are looking for. And make sure to add some variation with the number of wires, the height of each tree, and also the shape. Afterwards I was adding some plaster to the trees. I did not want to buy extra stuff just for my model, so I did use some standard plaster for indoor use, which I had left in my basement. That was totally fine for this case, but keep in mind that it has basically no flexibility. Be sure that the shape of your tree is already like you want it, as bending afterwards might break the plaster. I also added some small dots to make it look like there are some branches broken a long time ago. When everything is completely dry, you can scratch the surface a bit to give it a more complex structure and a rougher surface. I used standard acrylic color to mix a darker brown for the first layer of the trees. The next layer was slightly brighter and mixed with some grey to have some kind of 3D effect that the upper parts of the bark are brighter in the sun. Then I could add some warmer brown paint to some areas where the tree shines with much warmer, slightly red color. In the end, I was super happy with the result and very excited to see them with the needles applied. But firstly, you need to create much more smaller branches. I found some very nice material called Flower Power in our hardware store. It was very easy to cut and already in a nice brown color, which I did not paint at all. To fix all those smaller branches, spray gently some spray adhesive on your tree. And afterwards you can add the branch material. I first tried to dip the tree into the material, but it turned out to be much easier when you place the material step by step onto the tree with your fingers. I really enjoyed this step as it is super easy and makes a huge visual difference, giving them a much more realistic touch. When I placed the trees on my model, I found out that the roots were slightly too long and probably will be covered by plaster anyway, so I decided to cut the roots on the end. If you like, you can invest some time to make some fine-tuning with scissors on the branches. For the needles, I choose the NOCH grass material with a medium green and 4 mm. The approach is very similar like the branches itself, applying the spray adhesive and then the grass material. I did this in 2 steps. After the first layer of grass was applied, I added another layer of spray adhesive and then another layer of grass. This way you end up with more volume inside the tree. I was super happy that I chose to make the trees on my own, as I could directly see the real pine trees of Fontainebleau in front of me, and the trees in the shop definitely did not look so realistic. In the meantime, my model was ready and waiting for the trees, where the position was already marked. I used 2-component adhesive, which is super strong and also allows to glue uneven surfaces easily together. If you did not watch the video, me creating the main model, check out my channel if you are interested. Cheers and thanks for watching.